in today's session, I've got a really great gentleman that I found out basically from a video that my friend sent to me on WhatsApp talking about the state of the market. And I think you definitely want to listen to this one. He has a company called Sterling's Financial Solutions, and he has some insights on how you can manage your money better. Welcome, Fola. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
Perfect, man. So yeah, obviously I told you before, found out about your video from a friend sending it to me on WhatsApp. I was just like, this guy's talking so much sense. And I thought it'd be such a great opportunity to obviously talk to you about some of the concepts you spoke about in the video. So just for the people listening, tell us about yourself and, you know, what you do and all of that kind of jazz.
Yeah, so my name's Fola. I'm a financial consultant / economist. I'll just give people general financial guidance. I'm training to become a qualified financial advisor at the moment. Coronavirus has obviously had a bit of an impact on that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, still pushing through. I help people with their finances, give them insight on investments, without going too specific into detail. Because obviously at the end of the day, it's your money, so it's ultimately your decision. I just help you make an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to investing, and also just general financial guidance I provide for my clients.
Perfect. And, you know, I'm going to dive straight into it. So, you know, obviously we're in a situation where the state of our economy looks crazy. You know, there's been falls in the FTSE 100, even with the S&P 500, but I know obviously that's slowly climbing back up. You know, we've had the Chancellor inject loads of money into our system. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. And so, in your opinion, what does this mean for our financial system?
In my opinion, well, I don't exactly know what it means for the financial system, but the facts are printing money, quantitative easing, simply leads to a diluting of the existing money in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
So all the money that's being created and put into the economy is basically meaning that you have less money in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the actual economy, I mean, we don't actually know 100% where it's going to go. But what I know for sure is when the Bank of England's gone QE infinity, as I like to call it, which is saying they're going to put an unlimited amount of money in the economy.
Yeah.
That to me just gets the alarm bells ringing that, you know, I need to get out the currency. At least maybe not all of my wealth, because, you know, it's impossible to do that, because at the end of the day, you want to go to the shop, you still need to use the pound to pay. You want to pay your bills, you still need to pay in pounds. But to me, that's showing me a devalue of the currency is on the table. For the fact that it's on the table, you want to hedge and protect yourself. So you want to, you know, put your money into other financial assets and not just hold cash, because it's very likely that cash's purchasing power is about to be destroyed because of inflation.
Okay, so obviously you've mentioned a few different like key technical terms that some people may not understand. So how would you define quantitative easing, and how would you define inflation?
So quantitative easing is just I'll give it to you just simply. It's just printing money, basically.
Yeah.
They create the money. They may not print it as per se, as in print it physically, but they put the money into the economy. Some money will be printed. Some zeros will be added to a balance sheet on a computer, and that money's then available. That money's then in the economy. Inflation is just simply rising of prices. Everyone sees it. I mean, there's always the memes about when, you know, the little chocolate bar, the Fredo.
Yeah.
It was when it was 35p, or I can't remember how much it was actually. I think it was actually 10p or 15p.
I think it was like 10p, something like that. Yeah.
So, yeah, something ridiculously cheap, and then now it's like, I don't know, 50, 60p, and everyone's just like, whoa, like, where did this come from? So it's just basically that, guys. You know, prices going up.
No, I hear you, and obviously I hear what you're saying. Like, in terms of like, cash may seem a bit risky, X, Y, and Z, but you know, when I think about this stuff, I think there's a clear sort of difference between somebody who earns billions or 100 million or even 10 million versus the individual who earns 20, 30, 40, 50, 70k. So how can people in the 20 to 70K bracket sort of manage this situation better for themselves?
So first thing they need to do is they need to get financially educated. So they need to, come to terms with, what's going on. It's not impossible to get yourself out of the situation. It's very much possible. What you need to do is have a balanced portfolio. So you need to spread your money around, as I've mentioned before. You need to look at your expenditure, see where you can cut back on. We're in this problem now because of debt. Basically, debts have risen faster than incomes have risen. And that's why we're in the problem that we're in now. The coronavirus has just exposed that. Do you know what I mean? It's a pandemic that's broken out, and it's exposed what was already happening behind the scenes. So this day would have come eventually. It's just maybe come a bit earlier because of the virus. So what you need to do, you need to think about hedging your money. You need to think about also increasing your productivity. So a lot of people who earn maybe between 20 to 70K, that might be their sole income. You need to say, look, now is the time. You've got plenty of time right now as well. We're all on lockdown. Now is the time to think about where I can provide value elsewhere. Get an online presence. There's an unlimited potential, unlimited uncapped earning potential when you're offering a service. So if you're swapping your time, maybe help someone financially. Maybe you do a course and you can do someone's nails, someone's hair. Just giving you a basis of what a service is like, giving you an understanding of what service is like. There's an unlimited earning potential. You know what I mean? So we need to invest in ourselves, get some new skills. Look at the skills that are going to be needed after this. Look at products that are going to be needed after this. I mean, people who are selling on Amazon and eBay and stuff, they're still making money today. The job losses, the furlough, the reduction in pay, it's not affecting them because people still have to spend money. So what I would say to those people is just increase your productivity, learn a skill that's going to pay you. Think about where you're going to put your money. I mean, the stock market is the obvious choice, but there are a lot of other financial assets out there. And like I said, I'm not qualified to say, but you need to do your own research. But if it was me, I'd be thinking about trying to spread my money out of the immediate financial system, which is just cash and bank account.
That's interesting because about 2 weeks ago, probably actually not even 2 weeks ago, 2 to 4 weeks ago, I was watching this video by Ray Dalio, as we were speaking about him before, and he was saying this current financial system was heavily dependent upon debt, spending, and productivity. And it's interesting you focus on productivity because it sounds like what you're saying is that you can't stand still. You need to do more.
You can't. Yeah, you need to always be moving. You need to be always moving. I mean, billionaires are always moving. They're always moving every single day. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not rich. A lot of people that watch this video won't be rich. But you've got to just keep moving. I mean, building wealth is just like walking down the street. I mean, you keep on taking each step, you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? So, that that have built, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The people that have built their wealth, they haven't done anything special apart from just carried on moving forward and stayed disciplined. So a lot of people look at people that are wealthy and have a lot of money as like some sort of superhuman. I promise you, they're not. They just had a goal, stuck to it, stayed determined, and carried on moving forward. So we can't sleep, man.
Do you know, I like what you're saying, and do you know what? It's quite interesting because obviously during this time there have been a lot of people, including myself, who have been much more sort of like educated when it comes to the markets and stocks and index funds and ETFs and all that kind of jazz. But again, this also alluding to the fact that obviously you can't judge the market conditions, but if you have a business, then that definitely is an asset to really sort of like focus on building, especially if that's a business that works in this current climate right now in terms of COVID-19.
Exactly,
unfortunately, we're in situations where, local businesses and small businesses may have gone bust, or that they're not surviving right now. But those people online who have been able to provide their value are in situations where they could actually make a killing from this. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
what are your thoughts around sort of like business development and everything else, and what was some of the things that you're doing to build your business?
So business development, get someone who's in your field, and study what they do religiously. Like, do you know what I mean? Get someone who's in your field, follow them, try and reach out to them if you can.
Mm,
Um, that if you can click in with them, that would be great. Even if you can't,
mm-hmm,
just follow them. You know, you can learn so much from other people. Everyone's a learner and everyone's a teacher.
mm-hmm,
So building your relationships, I would say, are very key.
mm,
Um, again, read some books, do some research. I mean, books you have to pay, but they're worth the money.
mm,
YouTube is free. Do you know
mm,
what I mean? It's
mm,
free. You type in any topic on YouTube, you're gonna find a few hundred videos on that topic. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And
mm,
you got to choose your best bunch. I mean, don't just look at the views. A lot of people look at views and be like, oh well, you know, this person's got 100,000 views, so they might be saying the truth. There's a lot of unheard, unspoken for people that provide loads of valuable content. So you know, I mean, you can learn from
mm,
literally everyone. So that's what I would say to develop your business. In terms of what I'm trying to do to develop my business, just the same thing. Just, you know,
mm,
trying to get some mentors, trying to reach out to people,
mm,
researching, reading books.
mm.
Um, that's all I can really say on that.
Okay, yeah, no, sounds good,
Mhm,
man. And
mhm,
like obviously, in the video that I watched, you spoke about a financial reset.
mhm.
Um, what do you exactly mean by that?
So by reset, current all currencies are in a silly amount of debt. You know what I mean? Debt that's never ever going to get repaid.
Mm,
So it's actually silly why it's recorded. Well, obviously it has to be recorded, but it's debt that's never going to get repaid.
mm,
So eventually, well, not eventually, the currencies have devalued themselves over time anyway,
mm-hmm,
just naturally. In the 1970s, what you could get for £100 isn't what you could get you couldn't get what you got then.
mm-hmm,
Now, do you know what I mean? So the currency's devalued itself in front of everyone's eyes.
mm-hmm,
So that should show you um, that currencies are on their way out. I
mm-hmm,
mean, they're on their way out.
mm-hmm,
We need a new system probably,
mm-hmm,
but whether we'll get a new system is you know, I don't know if that's going to happen. They might just do a 2.0 of the current system, um, but with, you know, new currencies, wipe the slate clean
mm-hmm,
and start this all over again. But
mm,
the fact that could be happening is why I'm telling people, you know, you need to hedge. You need to sort of maybe think about getting out of your currency a bit,
mm,
increasing your productivity. So no
mm-hmm,
matter what happens, if today they say, you know, we're not the pound's not worth anything anymore.
mm,
Uh, I mean, people still have to eat. They still have to. Do you know what I mean? So
mm-hmm,
something else will come along.
mm,
You want to be able to then step in and be like, well, this is the new thing. I'm charging this. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, increase your productivity, man. I can't scream it any louder.
No, I definitely
Um,
see you. You know.
sorry. So in terms of reset, it just means where obviously all debts are wiped clean.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially currencies, new currencies. I mean, there's a lot of talk of a digital currency.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was going to ask.
or was you? Okay, yeah. We can
Yeah,
get into that if you want. Yeah.
yeah, no, because obviously, you know, we had, I think it was back in 2009, we had the Japanese sort of digital engineer, if you want to call him that, who created the blockchain. And then we had the birth of Bitcoin, and then 2,000 plus other cryptocurrencies as well. So do you think
Mhm.
there would be a bank that will create some sort of blockchain technology or central system that is used globally? Do you think there'll be many different cryptos if that was the model we're using? What's your thoughts?
Um, I mean, I really, really don't know. I mean, to me, if banks create a cryptocurrency, to me that just screams one thing. Do you know what I mean? That screams that, you know, you just want to monitor what we all do with our money. You want to
Mm,
be able to tax us as soon as we get our money. Literally,
mm-hmm,
money's coming into your account.
mm-hmm,
It's your tax is coming straight out. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't know how it would all work. Whether banks would create their own currencies, whether they would adopt existing currencies. I imagine they would want to create their own currencies. I don't see banks using anything like Bitcoin or anything like that.
But yeah, no, I can't see that either.
Yeah, I really can't see that. It's not scalable. There's only 21 million Bitcoins.
Yeah, yeah. And that's with most blockchain technology involving currency anyway. So do you think there are alternatives in terms of currencies that could be used? And because obviously if you think about the amount of, I don't want to say money, but currency in the system, the majority of it is digital anyway. And we're very much reliant upon debt fueling the current system that we're in. So do we just have a 2.0? Like, I'm just trying to like work out.
I think it will be a 2.0. But why I want people to sort of think about moving some of their wealth outside the financial system is you don't want to be overly reliant on it, because if they bring out their own digital currency, chances are they don't want a repeat of what I feel like governments are the same way we've learnt when these debt crises get too big and recessions and depressions and the business cycles, the same way they've been learning. They probably the digital currency could be their way of sort of stopping that, but it wouldn't benefit us because then they control everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They can control what we spend our money on, and if they implement their digital currencies, chances are they won't let you use that digital currency to buy any wealth outside of the system. I mean, I'm not saying it for sure, but I could see a digital currency being implemented where they wouldn't let you buy Bitcoin with it. They'd say Bitcoin's illegal; it's used for criminal activities. But cash is used for criminal activities more than anything. Do you know what I mean? So, or they don't let you buy gold or silver because they want all the gold or silver, obviously.
No, of course. Like, sorry, you want to say another point? You want to say another point?
I think I was getting about done, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, because as much as cash may be seen as a dark tool, so to speak, at the end of the day, the fact that it can't be monitored really contributes to our democracy as a society within the West. Anyway.
Yeah.
And so if you have the ability to have digital currency that can be tracked, that can be measured, that can be blocked, so many things can be done with that. And that turns something that feels a bit more Marxist or even communist in nature, undertone.
100%.
And obviously, if you're looking at things like COVID-19, there may be more of an excuse to introduce something like that, because
it's the perfect excuse. That's why I'm so scared. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to get the message out there.
Yeah, no,
it's the perfect excuse. Yeah, no.
So that's quite conspiratorial. So I'm going to leave it there for now. So obviously, in terms of like you were talking about hedging your money and putting it in alternative like areas. Like, what are those alternatives that are sensible, that doesn't prevent people from being able to spend but still secures their money as well? What does that look like?
I mean, it could be your precious metals, your gold and silver. It could be land. Land has its own value, standalone value. Do you know what I mean? They're not creating any more land either. Do you know what I mean? The world's as big as it's built. The world isn't going to get bigger. So land's a good one as well, because even if the system collapses, your currency goes down, there will be a recovery. There might be a 2.0. There might be a new system. The population is going to grow. That land is going to need to get utilized eventually. So land's a good one. Some people are into crypto. I can't really speak on crypto because it's so speculative. It's a new asset class. Crypto could be, especially if they are going to create their digital coins where they can monitor you. A lot of cryptos, you get a bit more privacy. I mean, the blockchain, everything is traced on the blockchain, but I mean, you'd rather use a cryptocurrency than the bank's currency, if you know what I mean. Because a cryptocurrency, the bank's currency is most likely going to come with some, spending restrictions, or it's easier for them to steal your wealth. I mean, like you basically do their job for them by using the currency.
Yeah, it's definitely
a few things like that. Yeah. Stocks. I mean, people buy stocks, but at the end of the day, stocks are no different to the digital numbers in your account. If stocks go to zero, you actually don't have anything physically for it, which is why I like metals, and land obviously is good as well. I like property as well, don't get me wrong, but property is very subject to all market conditions and stuff as well.
So it sounds
And
like,
it requires, yeah.
oh, go ahead. It requires,
It requires a lot of capital as well. I
yeah.
know there are ways to get property without a lot of capital down.
Hmm.
But, ultimately the traditional ways require a lot of capital. So, and a lot of the average middle class person
Hmm.
has a lot of their wealth tied up in their home. So if
Mm.
the property market goes down, they're sort of screwed.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And I think a lot of things are on standstill right now. Like
Mm.
even some of the stuff that you suggested seems like it's a place where you can store or hold your money, just in case obviously things get a bit crazy. And I think a lot of people are thinking about how can they make their money work for them where they can generate more. Obviously, it's a difficult situation because as quantitative easing is happening, the value of money is reducing. So then,
Mhm.
like you stated before, productivity needs to go up, i.e., start a business, get really savvy with your skills, really understand how you can solve people's problems and provide value in the marketplace, and just grind. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what it sounds like at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No, definitely, man. So yeah, man, like really, really enjoyed this. Like, I don't know if there's any sort of last words that you want to give to people in terms of advice, tips, tricks, that you think would be useful for them to take away.
Advice, I'll just go over what I've said already.
Hmm.
Get your skills up, man. Increase your productivity and provide value. If you provide value, you can thrive no matter how the economy is looking in a few years from now.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe try and find a niche product. Start some e-commerce because people are always going to be buying and shopping online. If we do get the digital currency,
Hmm.
it means even better for you. Everything has to be bought online now. Do you know what I mean? Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. Like everything is good. It's going to be online. Online businesses are going to boom even more. So
Mm.
you want to get into e-commerce. There's uncapped potential.
Hmm.
Everything else has got a capped potential. I mean, there's only so far you can go with property stocks.
Hmm.
If you're selling something, especially a service or a product, like as long as you can carry on providing that service or carry on getting hold of that product wholesale value and
Hmm.
wholesale prices, there's
Hmm.
uncapped potential. I mean, on the Forbes list, I mean, it's full of entrepreneurs. Do you know what I mean? You
Hmm.
hardly ever got to get someone who was just fully indulged in property on the Forbes list or fully indulged in the stock market. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When you're an entrepreneur, there's an uncapped level and earning potential. So become an entrepreneur, start a business. It's literally the only way.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
That's some really good insights there, especially in terms of the Forbes list, like thinking about that
Yeah,
stuff. And I think 65 or 67% of billionaires are actually self-made,
yeah,
self-made,
exactly.
you can speak, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
So there's a lot of stuff that we can do. We just need to get to it, people. Let's not
yeah,
waste
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, we
Really,
can't, we can't.
yeah, no, we can't at all, man. Like, really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
Where
man.
can
Thanks
people
for
find?
having me, man.
No worries, man. No worries. Where can
Yeah.
people find you?
So Instagram, at Sterling's Financial Solutions. I'm on Twitter at Sterling's Finance. That's Sterling's and then FINAC.
Mhm.
Twitter didn't want to let me get a longer username on there. um, um, I'm on Pinterest as well. Sterling's Financial Solutions.
Mhm.
Um, if you go on my Instagram, you'll get my email. It's Fola at sterlingsfinancialsolutions.co.uk.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to conversate. No questions too stupid either. Do you know what I mean? I was a novice when I first started in
Mhm.
finance. I asked loads of dumb questions, but I was getting answers. And if I didn't get answered, I'd go and find the answers.
Mhm.
It's the only way. It's the only way to learn.
Mhm. Most definitely, man. Thank you very much, Fola.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say to everyone, check out his video on Instagram. I'd also check out his YouTube video as well as an animation, which is really cool to check out, which really explains some of the concepts he's spoken about in this actual discussion or interview. So I
Oh
hope.
yeah, sorry, I forgot to even mention my YouTube channel. Sorry about that. Yeah,
No worries.
Sterling's Financial Solutions on the YouTube as well.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I put all my videos I put on Instagram. I put it on YouTube as well. So subscribe. Yeah,
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Until next time, take care. God bless. Understand,
yeah.
reach, expand. Peace.